question or try to explain to people, try to explain to them what stepping is, ask them that question, right? And if they can't tell you what stepping is, right, then you know what you got. I keep it all simple and I keep it real. Stepping is the African-American version of ballroom dancing. Everybody know what that is.
Steppin, the music, the moves, the clothes, the mood. Steppin is an art form, a dance that stirs the soul, a rhythm as unique as the dance itself with smooth steps and even smoother turns. Just what makes people come from all over the country to see folks in Chicago step. Although Steppin is nationally known, it's native to Chicago. But how did Steppin really get started? And to understand it, to go back to the late 1930s. Hi, I'm Emilie McKendall. World War II had just begun, but even with that, a new dance craze was hitting all the clubs. Couples were just jumping up and down. There was an aerobic type dance where they were swinging each other through the legs for their head, and it was known as the jitterbug. Now, a lot of people credit Cab Calloway with coming up with the term jitterbug, but it wasn't Cab Calloway. It was a trombonist that was in the Duke Ellington band who saw the dance and said that the couples looked like they were jitterbugs. And so when he said that, the name kind of stuck. Several cities now keep the dance going, but it's known as swing dance, and there are swing dance clubs all around the nation. However, Chicago took the jitterbug to a whole different level. And by the 1960s, the music took on a whole different flavor, and so did dancing. Motown was pumping out the hits, and Chicago was bopping. It was a slower, smoother, less aerobic type of the jitterbug. However, it still had an upbeat, although slower than the jitterbug. Each couple had their own unique style of dancing with each other. Then evolving from bopping came what is still happening in Chicago, and it's known as steppin'.
Remember, all you got to have is 10% of the footwork because 90% is attitude. It's a Chicago attitude because this is a Chicago dance. So let's go to a Chicago legend, Herb Kent, the cool gent, for a little history lesson on Chicago Step.
I remember I was just a kid when the Lindy Hop came out. The whole deal started here in Chicago, and we used to jitterbug when I was in high school. Say in a long time ago, 1945, 47, we were just jitterbugging everywhere. And it was a strenuous dance. And that this is God's truth. And so some of the brothers said, you know, this just doesn't make sense that we have to sweat all of these nice clothes out. So let's just go off time. They called it off time. Really was just cutting that beat in half. And it was just so smooth. And this really was one of the starts of the steppin' craze. It was called Off Time. And then, of course, as I got into radio, we did these big dances, like one I remember in 1960 was the Golden Dauphine. And by this time, folks had done like a bop. We had something called a Gouster bop. And a bop. And the beat then was 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So, I don't know, today I think they got a 6 count, an 8 count, and all the rest of that. So it has really progressed. But that was the way the bop started. And it was done like to jazz music. It was done to blues. And folks when we slowed it down, we'd just take a nice, easy stroll, and you do a dance, and you would see just hundreds of people walking around the circle. It was always done counterclockwise, and it was interesting to watch. Some of the folks today can still do it, but very few people can master this dance. The guys, you know, they would never take their hats off, so they had the beaver hats on with Vaseline all around it, smoothing it down. They had these real long coats and knob AAA shoes, and it would be all humped over just like this. And the ladies would be all the way back in high heels, just stepping. This progressed on as music changed, the dance changed. By the 70s, it had moderated a bit. Some people called it like styling. Sam Chatman, we got to give him a lot of credit. He got into the act. By 1979, the country was disco crazy, including me. Everybody went to discos with lighted dance floors and the smoke and all the rest of that. Sam was the only one that stuck to step. And of course, like I say, he made money in it. But I think because he stuck to it is one reason why it still exists today.
That's because you are nothing but stepping. You're
all my life.
There you go.
Never, the first person in the city of Chicago to ever print a flyer and advertise. I'm talking about 10,000 flyers, put a poster on every street corner, major street corner, from Maywood to Argyle Gardens, and advertise. And I'm going to give a party, and we're going to play nothing but Steppers music from start to finish.
That's you?
And that is me. But that stepping it starts with the music and the dancers. There are a lot of people that's been in the game for years, and they always try to pretend like it centers around them. But DJs like myself, and I can name a lot of them, we're nothing without the music and without the steppers. To me, it's a privilege to be able to play classics by the Temptations and Smokey Robinson and Mary Wells and Jay-Z and 50 Cent and Luther Vandross. So it was my job and the other DJ's job to come up with these records. You know, the album that the Temptations had with the Joneses on it, that album was not a big seller. You know, Jeffrey's album, Love Gonna Last, was not a big seller. The Ebony's Life in the Country, not a big seller. But they became Steppers classics because we as the DJs felt that these records were so good. Back in the early 70s, I would say early 70s, there was only maybe 4 or 5 DJs in the city of Chicago.
Tell me who some of those were.
Who had this music. Well, Kenny B. Thompson, who was on the West Side, Terrible Ted, Jimmy Lee, Big Luke, and even Bus Stop Charlie Green. Charlie Green, even though a lot of people associated Charlie Green with DJ, the Bus Stop, Charlie Green was a quote-unquote DJ first.
Okay,
and he,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and he sort of used the Bus Stop to enhance his parties, but Charlie Green was a DJ also. So there was only a few of us guys in the city. I mentioned Ben Cheeks and Stevie O. These guys those are my idols, by the way, Ben Cheeks and Stevie O. Those are guys and gals. And there was only about maybe 5 of us in the whole city who had copies of this music.
Okay.
And we didn't share this music with a lot of people for one reason. If you wanted to hear Jeffrey Love Gonna Last or the Ebony's Life in the Country, you had to come to Sam Chatman's parties or you wouldn't hear it.
Where do you think Steppin is going from here, though?
Oh, I don't think, because of the world's largest Steppers contest, stepping hasn't even, we have a Steppers ball, we call it the Steppers Convention on the 30th of this, in a couple of months. People from Los Angeles, Las Vegas, Washington, D.C., everybody, they might be stepping a little different than Chicago, but basically it is still stepping.
And I know people come from all around to see Steppin in Chicago, too.
They just love it.
V103 came into existence. There was a guy named Kenny B, who was really great. Our then boss, Barry Mayo, went to a club because he liked to go out, and he saw Kenny B spinning. And he said, you know, that's a great thing. Let's have a Steppers Hour. So Saturday night came to be Steppers Night on V103, and that started with the inception of V103. In the first year, they had a big stepper contest at some hotel downtown. It was wildly successful, and it has gone on from there to what we have today.
So when you put your palms to her knuckles, she's gonna stop. Your palms are brakes. Old school kept it tight, and they kept it just in Chicago. Like, we ain't gonna bring this out. But they used to have the world's largest 91, 2, 3. And you had hand dance from DC, swing dance, Seattle. You know, you had all those people coming in, ballroom, Detroit. They coming in getting to a steppers contest and wasn't placing. But they didn't understand, Chicago only knows stepping. They don't know hand dance, swing, bop. So it was hard for those people. So now, the new school started venturing out and started doing instruction. So they started teaching them and then making them hybrids. Like, if you bop, you're gonna bop and step. If you swing dance, you're gonna swing and step. You hand dance, you're gonna hand dance and step. So now you got an advantage over those in Chicago. 4 and 7. I'm gonna demonstrate.
You're going back on your 7 now.
That's right.
What's on your shoe, dude? Hold up.
Tape. You got tape on the bottom.
Okay, hold it up.
So now I don't need no powder.
Okay. I see you got it. Okay, cool.
I just go to the music. So that's why I don't rehearse or practice. Because I feel like I dance with my partner for the whole year. And we dance off every song. And I'm get used to every tempo, and I'm gonna pick it up, slow it down, pick it up, to see if they can handle it. If they can handle it, we good. So now it's a fresh type of dance. When the judge is sitting there looking at 3, 4 couples on the floor, then it's no excuse that you can see a routine and say somebody misses hands. It's like the whole thing is off. They could just get them off the floor, next 3. You know what I mean? My dance, you're not gonna see that. Dealing with strategy and pointers on where the placements on the floor. You need judgments to see body movement, and then how to really dance to a song. But each song has a different tempo. It's not just straight line. It's up, then it's down, then it's up high. So your dance has to perform to each song that you pick. You understand a little bit?
I'm here to teach lessons for Steppin Unlimited.
What class are you teaching today?
I was teaching an advanced class from 12 to 2.
How long have you been a stepper?
Since 1997, 96, 97.
This is a dangerous groups that we're dealing with now.
Oh, you get paid for stepping there.
That's what I do. I enjoy it very much.
I see you had different product here. You got T-shirts and you got CDs. Tell us about that.
See, my T-shirt is to represent Dre and Company, me, the group, the crew, and CDs is just something to get you something to get step into. Like they say, step on unlimited. You know, just step till you drop. That's what I do. Like last night, we didn't go to bed till 3 o'clock in the morning, so it was enjoyable.
Now tell me about this music. People don't understand that you just can't step to anything. What kind of record do people step to?
Well, basically, you can step to a jazz, R&B. Of course, you can step to hip-hop. A lot of people don't know that, but I do it all the time because that's what sometimes you can bring the youth involved, because a lot of people like hip-hop. I love hip-hop.
For you to be stepping since 1997, why do you keep at it? What is special about stepping? What's in it for you?
Actually, I just love the dance. I love the passion. I got the passion for the dance, actually. It's just something that you just, when you're on the floor, you're just like floating, and it just feels so good to be, you know, with a partner that you can dance with, and y'all just have a good time. That's my way of getting off. That's my way of, you know, releasing, as they say. Well, I got classes 4 days a week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and on Sundays too. And on the weekend, I travel different cities and stuff like that.
You have parties prior to the contest.
Yeah, the day before, the 18th.
Okay. And now this is Dre and Company that throws this?
Exactly. Dre and Company and ShotSteppers.com, Terrence Pratt.
Okay.
My partner in crime. Did you see that article in that interview, that article in Ebony magazine? It was a June issue of Ebony. It was talking about dancing and fitness, and I was featured.
So how did you learn to step, Tyrone?
Well, I learned in 1974. I was going to Cobb High School. They had a sock out, and everybody was dancing, and I didn't know how to step. So I came home, and I saw my father downstairs dancing on some jazz record, and he was like jitterbugging like that, you know, but he was like ironing at the same time. So I just got behind him and I just started, you know, doing like that, and just popping it, you know, like that, going, you know, up, down, like, you know what I'm saying, like that. Even with a broom, y'all. You know, so I learned how to do it.
How long you been stepping in?
Approximately 19 years.
19 years.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So your dad kind of taught you how to step?
Yes, and brothers.
What kind of step did your dad used to do? Like original
Jitterbug.
form? Original form?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So look. Yeah, Okay. So when you step, how do you feel when you be stepping on?
Good. You feel great. Ain't nothing like stepping.
Is it like a high or something?
Better than a half.
Yeah. You look like pretty much in control from the contest that we seen you in.
I feel in control.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How did you get your current partner, Demita?
Well, I met her at this place called the Concept Ballroom in a contest. And she was dancing with this guy named Eddie Snake, and I was dancing with this girl named Pat. And we came in second place, and Demita came in first place. And after that, Demita liked me, and we got together. So we was dealing.
Oh, okay.
So we became stepping partners.
So how long y'all been stepping together?
About 17, 18 years.
Oh, great. So y'all kind of know each other's moves really good.
Right, we can wake up and do that.
Well, what makes a good step partner to you?
One who can do the basics, and one who can follow, and do what's natural.
All right.
Yeah.
So the contest is coming up on September 10th. How you think you're gonna do?
Excellent.
When you prepare for a contest, when you rehearsal, what do you do? How do you prepare for a big contest where $5,000 is the first place?
First thing is exercise.
Oh, you exercise like what?
Well, I wear leg weights, and I play ball, and I jog around these blocks.
Every day?
Yeah.
Okay. And then how often do you rehearse with your partner?
About 3 times a week. I have 7 children.
Really?
Yes.
What's their name?
Chanel, Tina, Tyrone, Prince, Little Celeste, Tierra, and Tyree, which are twins. Right. The oldest is 15, which is Chanel. Then Tina's 14. Then Tyrone is 10. Prince is 9. The Celeste is 6. Then the twins is 1 year old today.
Oh, okay. And they all can dance like you?
Yes. Even the twins came out dancing.
At the bar, getting ready for the night. Once the drinks kick in, it's on the night.
See, I died in Minnesota. Yeah, I got shot to death. March 17th, 2003. They put the sheet over my face. Got shot once in my stomach, once up on the heart, and twice in my spine. I never was in no wheelchair. I never had to learn how to walk again. Matter of fact, when I came out of the coma, they be having the tights on your legs so your blood can circulate. But they was too tight on my legs, and this is my pride and joy. And I knew I wasn't feeling something, so I got up the hospital bed and tried to dance. Until I looked down and saw the tubes in me. Then I passed out. And knowing that God didn't take my legs or make me no paralegal, so I knew that that was the gift that he gave me. For damn sure I knew that. You know what I'm saying? When I got gunned down like that. So that's how I became the person that I am at 51 right now. Cold man.
What promise did you make to God after that incident?
That I wasn't gonna use drugs no more. Did I lie? Yep. I lied. I couldn't, as soon as I got to the hospital, I got high. I started back blowing. You know what I'm saying? My addiction was heroin. You know what I'm saying? Which I finally got clean September 17th, 2009 at Salvation Army. You know what I'm saying? Because everything was at stake. It was, you know, but I ain't had nowhere to go with none of that. I was out there. You know what I'm saying? So I said I'm going to surrender. And I went on and got right. So, but I always win contests whether I was high or not. You know, drugs never played no major role in what I did with my footwork or my turns or how I amuse people or make people happy. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, the drugs made me make people mad at me. You know what I'm saying? Real grateful for my wife Celeste, you know what I'm saying, gave me 10 babies. You know what I'm saying? You can't, man, when you hear about a family that big, that was back in the days, you know what I'm talking about? And now, you know, the Winfield is standing up there, it's like 26 of us. You know what I'm saying? Yup. At first I thought it was 13 grandbabies, but it's 14. And 10 kids, and me and Celeste, that's 26. Winfields, you know? And
that's your partner?
All of us can dance, and that's my best friend, my wife, my dad's partner. You know what I'm talking about? Straight up. She changed it, made me want to change it, not about myself. You know what I'm saying? Because I couldn't have her with all the garbage I was carrying with me. So, you know, matter of fact, she wouldn't even go to a contest. That's how she felt about how I was messing up my life. She wasn't going to let me win that contest so I can go buy drugs with it. So she sacrificed that money and said, I'm not going to even get in the contest. Nigga, do it yourself. Even though I went and got a fat girl and won. It didn't matter. Dance with anybody, I'm going to win. But that woman there, and she can dance just as good as me. But I ain't never going to take that from her. That woman there, because she's a tomboy. Yep, Celeste is a tomboy. She played baseball at West Pullman Park. Third baseman. Yeah, she good. She's a tomboy. And we got 10 kids.
Skippy, I got a question for you. How long would it take you to teach people to step? What you have seen today, how many days would you need?
7.
I mean, you can really make them good, like
7.
Girls?
7.
Guys?
7.
That's good. What do you think about what you saw today?
Enthusiasm. I'm actually not doing nothing when it comes to stepping if the person ain't gonna be on no serious, ain't gonna be for real. You know, I don't care how you wanna take it because I love this dance, you know what I'm talking about? And I'm not gonna just sit up there and just accept anything when it comes to this dance.
That's right, that's right, that's good.
You know, and I mean,
That's it.
by that mentality, that's why I'm the best. That's it.
Why do you think that Steppin has went across the country? See, most people ego is so up here. They think it's because they were dancing, right? One individual, they like me dance, so I'm the one that, and I just let them think, right? You have to market and advertise, right?
Right.
And this by having these Steppin t-shirts, jackets, and then people come in town and they see the Steppin community out here having fun, and then you have your own t-shirt.
Yeah.
They buy the t-shirts and they take them back to their town, right?
Right,
Then
right.
people ask them, what's that? And they say, this is what they're doing in Chicago, right? Boom, boom, boom. Now, when they come, they want to see it.
That's right.
So
that's
now
right.
we're talking about like a snowball, right?
Right.
And that's what happened.
Right, right.
It went from here to Detroit to Milwaukee to Los Angeles to Atlanta. Now it's in Nebraska. It's all over the United
Vegas.
States, right? Now, if people
Vegas
think that
too,
just
yeah.
happens,
Right.
without any effort or anything being done, then
Right.
what do you pay money for marketing and advertising
Yeah,
for? I mean,
yeah.
sometimes
That's right.
you have to use this, right?
What made you start a Steppin store?
It's out of necessity. It was a need. Just like what that article in that magazine told you, right? When you go out and you start seeing that we had something. Steppers were really original. We did the best. We wore diamond rings, not knockoffs, not fakes. Now it was all real. Real diamonds, real alligator shoes, real custom-made suits and hats. That's what it was based on. So now you start to commercialize things, and you have a group of other people comes in, they start to dilute it. So actually it's taken away from it. We wear hats. Men wear hats, boys wear baseball caps.
That's right.
Steppers are men, and the ladies, we treat ladies with the utmost respect. So now you got them out here where they grab ladies and sling them across the floor, right? That's almost domestic violence. You know what I mean? I'm just keeping everything real. Steppers are gentlemen, and gentlemen wear hats. That's why we have hats in this store.
We dance.
It's a black thing.
It's a black thing when we dance, or the style that we does, because nobody does a contemporary ballroom dance or Lindy Hop, jive. They don't even know that we exist. And that $2,000 suit, you got to make that $2,000 suit dance for you. You know what I'm saying? You got to make that $10,000 dress and them $50,000 pump, the Manolo Blahniks or whatever, the Oprah shoes. Went to school of dance and performing arts. First, I learned how to do jazz, tap, ballet, modern dance. Well, it's adrenaline to me. I like to show off. So when I started putting all of that together, they sat there and they was like, oh, he kind of rough. You got to be a surefire entertainer.
That's right.
When you're entertaining for people, for money, you got to do your best. think that a West Side Stepper has more style and pizzazz than a South Side Stepper. South Side Stepper has more style, they're more graceful, and they have you have to be a very devastating person to come on the South Side and dance. Get intimidated when you go from South Side to West Side because we do have different styles. When the freestyle came, they finna bring the pain. You gonna see splits, you gonna see flips. You're gonna see tricks, you're gonna see footwork, you're gonna see skates, you're gonna see people dancing on chairs, whatever. So I gotta do something, I can't beat them dancing, so I gotta put on some diapers and Superman suit. I got to do my thing. They know the business. They know who they see. They know who they know. They say, I'll tell you right here in Chicago, two of the baddest steppers in the city of Chicago, this one and that one. They ain't gonna tell us nothing different. They can't compare with us, can't mess with our footwork, can't nobody even bite our style. They can duplicate it. Can't never copy this.
It's a stress reliever. And I love to step. I love to dance anyway. So it's something that I enjoy doing.
I've been dancing with Cleo since the 80s.
That's good.
Since the 80s. I mean, really basically 20 years. Cleo, Johnny's, 20-something years.
I almost died 2 years ago. I was in intensive care for 3 months.
Really? Intensive care?
I was in a coma for like 2 days.
What happened?
Well, I went to have a surgery, a simple surgery. I went to have a cyst removed, but it had turned into a mass, but it wasn't cancerous. It was benign. But they had to get it out of there. So when they got it out of there, they seen some leakage or whatever, but they never took care of what they needed to take care of, so I set up a lot of infections. And when they went back in, they did something till they punctured my bowels. So I had to wear a bag for 1.5 years.
Really?
I was messed up, girl. They didn't think I was gonna make it, but hey.
Hello, God is good.
All the time.
Wow.
I was really, really sick.
And you still dance?
Oh, yeah.
Cleo knows what to do when it comes to dancing. Not just getting the money. Cleo knows her part in winning. And this is the thing I try to tell everybody. You got to know what to do when it comes to winning. And if you don't know how to win, you're not going to get it.
I showed them I had the power. I had a bag on. They didn't even know. They knew I was sick, but some people didn't know the extent of it. They knew I almost died. But I was dancing. We won a contest with a bag on.
Shop Pro Stack. Shop Pro Stack. Shop Pro Stack. Let's do this Shop Pro Stack.
Well, we're going to give a big steps contest. You know, they start giving the steppers contest, maybe $25, maybe $50. Somebody come and say, man, forget that. I bet my guy will beat your guy's step in your girl. So, you know, people start putting the money in the pot, you know, and it started adding up. So Sam come along and say, well, we're going to give away $2,000. Around holiday time, Christmas time, you know, if you can get out, you can get out. Anything goes.
This Steppin' thing all around the world. I mean, they're doing it in Chicago, New York, Las Vegas, Indiana, Milwaukee, various different metropolitan cities. We've been taking it to California.
Good luck to all of our dancers. 18th annual World Largest Steppers Contest.
Give all our judges a round of applause. All together, we got over 600 years of stepping. So they should know what they're looking at tonight, right? Okay then. Let's go to work, steppers.
If you like what you see, let's show them some love. Let's give all our contestants a round of applause.
What happened to the Steppin community during the pandemic?
Well, the good thing about that, when the pandemic came, what we did, I created an online competition, and it was called footwork competition. I mean, you see people dancing in their houses and their back porches and anything they can do during the pandemic times. So, I mean, dancers love to dance.
Holding the annual contest?
Well, I do the contest because it's good for our community. And when I first started doing this contest, like when the contest first started, the radio station did it as part of an entertainment thing for the radio station. And they actually let it go. So I started doing the contest because at the time I didn't think the radio station understood how cultural this dance was in Chicago. And doing that, I said, well, you know, we gotta keep it going. It gave people a chance to come out and enjoy themselves, dance, and the whole 9 yards. So I've been doing it for the last maybe 20 plus years myself. And now it's actually evolving much, much faster than we thought it was. Because I told a lot of people, I ask people all the time, did you ever think that this dance would go to the level that it's at now? And they're like, no, because it started in the high schools, in the little small clubs and stuff like that. So that's one reason that I try to keep it going as long as I can, as long as the funding is there to keep it going and doing that and teaching people this dance is a great thing.
What does it take to yearly mount the annual world's largest Steppin contest?
What does it take to mount it?
Yeah.
Or to put it together?
Take me through the process.
Well, to do the world's largest Steppin contest, it's a lot of work because especially when you're on the road, you're doing this from city to city, doing your prelims, qualifying people for the main event. You know, you have to do a lot of traveling, late night, early morning traveling and stuff like that. but it takes a lot to really put any type of contest together if you want it done right. And getting into this contest, I really haven't changed the wheel. I just kind of keep the wheel rolling, add a little things here and there, to make it go smoother as you go over your hurdles, and you see things that you need to change and do that. But outside of that, it takes a lot of time and effort and money to really, put a contest together.
I'll be heading out to LA this weekend, doing the prelim down there, and then next weekend be in New York, and then Milwaukee for the Milwaukee largest. Let's give it a fall out contestants. We're gonna play some music you guys for a couple of minutes, whatever, it's 10 o'clock. Couple number 3, Rich Jackson, and Isaiah Swing. Switching and swing. What's up, Rich? This is the walkers category.
Tell me a little bit about each category.
We have basically maybe an average of 4 to 5 categories. We have what we call the original old school category. That's the original dance itself.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically you're gonna see a lot of flips and stuff like that. Most of the time, contestants really can't have their feet off ground. Your feet gotta stay on ground, and stuff like that. Then we have what we call the new school category, which transformed from back then we used to call it freestyle. But instead of calling it freestyle, we call it new school because that's the younger generation competing in that category. And then we have the beginners category, which are for new steppers to dance in that category. That's been danced for a year, 6 months to a year. We call that the new school, the beginners category.
Yeah.
And then we have what we call the walkers category.
Yeah.
And the walkers category is still a form of, it's not really stepping, but it's almost like a slow bop, slow dance, slow bop category, where you see people walking around the floor, slow dancing around the floor. It's called walking. That's part of that whole criteria of the culture of the dance, from stepping to walking.
Okay.
And doing that. And we also added what we call a 60 and over category.
Yes.
Because what happens, I added that category because a lot of your good dancers, as they get up in age, they still want to continue to dance. So they don't want to find themselves competing against 35-year-olds and 40-year-olds. So we started that 60 and over category. So both couples have to be 60 over. The male have to be 60 and the female have to be 60. So you compete against your own peers in that category.
That's excellent.
So that's what we added that category over the last maybe 5+ years of 60 and over category. Because a lot of your great dancers, as you get older, you still love to dance, but you slow your dance down a little bit. And we also have the masters category. And see, the masters category is all the winners over the years. If you won placed in the contest, we have a category where nobody can dance in that category but our winners, past winners. And that's every 5 years.
It's every 5 years?
Every 5 years.
Okay. And trio?
With the newer category, with the newer steppers, But that's a real energetic category where you dance with 3 people at one time and doing that. So that was a category that we added for certain years and stuff like that as well.
It's not easy getting in front of a lot of people, performing, so the more you guys clap and show your support, the better these fellas get out. Let's show them love.
Okay, so every year, there's winners and losers. Do
Yeah.
people ever blame you for that they
Well, you
lost?
always get the blame, like they say, heaven the head that wears the crown, but you have to understand a lot of contests, any contest. But sometimes people have to look for reasons to blame, the reasons why they didn't place, win, or whatever. Because like I told people over the years, you're gonna be judged by your peers. So we try to get people that's gonna be impartial, that can give people the best bang for the buck by judging these people. Because I can actually go get celebrities and stuff like that to judge, but if they don't know the dance, how can they judge? So they're gonna complain about that. So like I tell a lot of people, you're gonna be judged by your peers. We try to get judges to be as fair as possible to these contestants because they put a lot of hard work into these dances.
That's right.
So at the same time, but you have people that go through things in the steps community. When people don't get along with each other for some odd reason, but a lot of times I tell my contestants, they get a chance to meet the judges before they dance. So if you see a judge that you don't think you can give a fair play, bring it to me, and I'll go to the judge. I have a couple that don't feel that they're going to get a fair push from you as being a judge. So kind of put that judge on notice. And sometimes it works to the point they may give you the best score because they've been put on notice, but at the same time, doing any type of contest is hard because some people will always say, even football, basketball, they cheat.
Lloyd must have read my mind. He said, Nene, fuck what they talking about, do your thing. And what he said that for, then I went to work. But I still, by the time I got to the middle part, I went back to the middle of the rules and regulations. But to open up, I did that just what he said. Forget what they talking about, do your thing. And I did my thing all the way around to probably the middle part. I slowed down just a little. So I wouldn't go against the rules, even though a lot of the rules were broken in the contest. And if I knew that, I would have broke the rules too.
The longer you dance, the more some people feel that they don't have to practice. And then the people, the newcomers and stuff like that, they put in a lot of work. Not saying a lot of the people that's been dancing don't put in work, but depending on how serious you take what you do. Some people just get that overconfidence, like, oh, I know I can dance and whatever. And they're not saying that they're not great dancers, but some things that you do in a club is different when you're competing because you have to go to that next level. Maybe they look at some of the competition, feel like, oh, I'm good, I can go do this. But anytime, to me, if you're competing in something, you always, to me, should give that extra push and make sure that you and your partner's on point. And I got to tell a lot of couples, practice perfection. Because you never know what type of music is going to play. Because some contestants pick music to throw you off. So you should be able to dance with slower music, faster music. Somebody might play some Frank Sinatra that they can practice off of and dance off of, but then you're like, what is that? And so you can't stop in the middle of the dance. So sometimes contestants gonna pick music, especially by them being able to pick the songs that they can dance off of. You don't know what they're gonna dance off of until they get on the stage.
Right.
So some of them try to throw you off with your music.
Thinking toward the future, have you chosen a successor or do you have a mentee?
Well, the thing about it, I was working with Terrence and a couple of people that's kind of working around me that's a little younger. But the thing about it is, this can be a headache to a lot of people. And us as the people are hard to work with. See, so the thing about it is depending on if people are willing to take on that responsibility and dealing with the personalities and the attitudes, because this dance actually came from the streets. So the personalities and the attitudes of some of the people, like, if they don't really know you, respect you, then it might go to certain levels. But not saying it can't be done, but many people have tried to do contests and they kind of went south. So it's not easy to do because, like I say, everybody want to feel certain things a certain ways. People say, oh, they cheated. Some people say it's cliquish. Some people say this, say that. So people are going to make up excuses to justify themselves when they don't prevail in the dance.
But they come every year regardless.
Because the thing about it, I tell people all the time, you only live once. So if it's something that you like doing, dancing is a hobby, just like skating and anything else. If it's something you like to do it and you practice it. And like I said, you never know if you bring your A game to the floor, what can happen. Because I've seen people get in this contest and they're placed in categories that people are like, wow, they won? Oh, they did a great job. So the thing about it is, don't never feel that you can't win, if you're going to compete in anything.
That's right.
Because some people will say, well, why some of the same people win? That's just like Chicago Bulls win 6 championships. You don't tell them they can't play no more because you got to go out there and you got to practice and you got to beat them. So if I got to put a Tycman or a Doc or some of these great steppers that have won several times, if I got to make them sit down in order for you to win, can you really say you dance against the best of the best?
You can't.
So you have to put in the work in order to compete on that level.
That's right. That's right. Does the state of Illinois honor you or the Steppin community?
It's getting a little bit better now. The Gustavo Museum have done some things in the past with Sam and a few things. I was actually supposed to do that. I was out of town. But so now they're trying to acknowledge it a little bit more. Because, me working for the city of Chicago, and I do summer dance for the city of Chicago. But at the same time, now they're beginning to recognize Steppin as part of Chicago heritage culture, just like house music. So it's like house music and Steppin is part of that whole Chicago culture.
That's good.
And doing that. So now they kind of put it out there a little bit more, on a lot of the shows, the TV shows, the news and stuff like that. You get a chance to see some of the people dancing and stuff like that. And when we do the world largest and different events, they give us some exposure through, the daily news and stuff like that.
All right. Can you describe for me what happens at the big annual contest that weekend? Describe that for me.
We have a fulfilled weekend for steppers, especially since the dance have evolved. We have people coming in from various different cities. So we have done and we have created to a point where you come to Chicago, we kick that weekend off like on a Wednesday because there are local stepper sets that goes on in Chicago from Sunday through Monday for 7 days of stepping. So what we do is we take some of the local parties and we make that part of the itinerary. Like come in Wednesday, we'll be at 119th and Loomis. Then Thursday, my man Marvin has a big party on the west side. And then on Friday, we kick off the world largest weekend.
We keep coming back and we keep doing this event because this is our opportunity to fellowship with the people. This is like the Super Bowl of Steppin weekend.
And then we do a VIP reception for an hour for our VIPs to come in. They, serve our Jeris finger food. We give away, open bar for about an hour, and then we release them into the contest, and they watch the contest for about 2 hours or whatever, how long it takes, depending on how many contestants we have. And then after the contest, we have an after party, which is next door, so you don't have to leave the room. Just come out of one room into the next room, and then you can dance till 3 o'clock in the morning and do that. That completes that whole weekend of stepping. No, not really, because then Sunday morning, people check out of their hotels, then we have what we call a brunch day party. So they go to the day party. That's not even it. After the day party, we have a place called Heroes. They go to Heroes, and that completes that whole weekend of festivities for steppers on those weekends.
So would you say Chicago's the mecca for stepping?
Oh, definitely, without a doubt.
Where would you like to see the dance go?
I like to see the dance be a part of something like Dance with the Stars. That criteria where, then you do foxtrot, you do ballroom, you do salsa, and put stepping in there, Chicago Steppin, as part of that criteria of one of the dances.
That's right. I agree.
Yes, this will be our 32nd annual World Largest Steppers competition.
for you, Brian. This for you, Ty Skippy.
This is for Ty Skippy.
And Brian.
Archibald Ty Skippy.
Yes.
And we finna represent.
Yes.
In y'all name and y'all honor.
In y'all name and y'all honor. Yes, sir.
Believe
yes, sir.
that.